Coach, to be in first place, first time for the franchise since 2003, having the best record in the Eastern Conference, with what you guys have gone through from injuries and a number of other things. What does it say, about this group? Obviously, there's bigger goals ahead, but what does it say about this group at this point to be where you are?
Yeah, we're first and foremost really proud of our guys. They've had a lot thrown at them this year. We've had a lot of different lineups. Tough schedule and a new group. We've had three new groups in a sense. So for them to stick together, to continue to pursue what we're asking them to pursue, big picture and in the short term with the details, it's impressive. We first half was the doldrums, especially the first quarter to a T. But second half was outstanding effort and improved physicality, and so that again, I would say we're really proud of our guys for what they've accomplished, considering everything that's been thrown at them.
Do you hear anything, regarding the hamstring injury, considering what Kevin is going through? It causes everybody to pause. What do you know right now as far as James Harden and his situation?
Yeah, we're going to monitor it. We'll see how he feels in the morning. I don't have a lot to tell you, but we feel optimistic. It's not a long-term thing, and we'll just monitor it.
Brian Lewis with the New York Post.
I was going to ask you about James, but you talked about the doldrums, and I'm curious, was there anything that was said by you or by any of the players in particular that helped kind of shake them out of these doldrums early in the say second or third quarter?
We talked about it at halftime. They know. They're professional basketball players. They know that it wasn't good enough, wasn't tough enough, mentally weren't locked in, and didn't give the effort or the respect that was deserved. And it doesn't matter what's said or who said it. What we talked it over. They took the challenge, and that's what matters. You could talk to your blue in the face, and they don't take the challenge. It doesn't matter. But so our guys, they had pride. And they had respect for each other, and they went out and competed and were unbelievable in the second half. It's not perfect, but it was a heck of an effort losing James, Kevin out, Landry out, LaMarcus not playing yet. It was, I thought, an outstanding effort, and I'm proud of them, and it made up for a very painful first quarter or so.
Alex Schiffer with The Athletic.
Hey, Steve, what'd you make of Nick's play down the stretch? He had that assist to Blake, that blocked. He had a couple baskets in a row. It seemed like there was time in the fourth quarter he was really carrying you guys.
Nick was outstanding. We've seen at his length, athleticism. He just plays so hard. But he did make a couple really nice, plays, like you said, assists, a couple tough finishes around the baskets, rebounds, tap outs, deflections, things like that. Defended, so very, very impressive, and we need him. He's maybe our best defender, and with that length and activity, he's been outstanding for us.
Malika Andrews with ESPN.
Hey, Steve. Did James come to you and say, this is bugging me? How did that shake out? And then what imaging or tests did he get for the duration of the game?
No, I haven't spoken to him yet. I, came in, addressed the team, and came to speak to you guys. So I think he told the trainer when he was on the sideline, and they went back to look at it, and they just decided that it wasn't worth risking it. And we'll just see how he feels in the morning and go from there.
So tests or you're not sure?
Yeah, they just decided that it was, wasn't worth risking it going back out there, but we haven't done any scans or anything. We'll see how he feels in the morning and then decide what the next step is.
Cool.
Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach, you said, at least earlier in the season, you said, it's not about who starts games, it's about who finishes them. And you've had Nick in crunch time quite a bit since he's been back. I'm curious if you view him as your best option at the center position at this current junction, and whether having a slow start tonight might make you reevaluate whether he should maybe play with the starters.
Well, Christian, you just said it doesn't matter who starts, it matters who finishes. So don't start chopping and changing my lineups. Nick has been outstanding, but we have a lot of depth there. We want to give a lot of guys looks at that position. We also know Nick's injury history. We don't want to overload him because he has valuable piece to our team. So we want to continue to develop him. We don't want to over rely on him. We don't want to over burden him physically or mentally, and just allow him to develop at a more natural pace. And so I think right now we're in a pretty good spot with him. And, of course, we could have played him more. We knew that. We see that too. But at the same time, there's other guys. Jeff had some really good moments. Blake had some big moments. DJ starts it off for us in both halves. And so you go down the line, everyone plays their part. It allows us to develop Nick at the right pace and keep him in that sweet spot where he can be very valuable for us.
Last question, Tom Dowd with BrooklynNets.com.
Hey, Steve, 3-point shooting turns so many games, especially the volume that teams taking these days, and they were hot early, you were hot late. Was there anything to it in terms of you guys defending them better, or you guys opening up some shots for yourself, or is it just kind of that make or miss situation?
Some of it's make or miss. Some of it's the ebb and flow of the game. They came out hot. We came out cold, and obviously it reversed a little bit by the end. But a part of that is that we turned the dial up. We gave them too many mental errors in the first half, too many lackadaisical efforts, late closeouts, misreads. And so they're able to get in rhythm. And then it was one of those nights where everything's going in. So the basket gets bigger and they continue on that. And so, and conversely for us, we weren't making anything, but the harder we play, the tougher we got, then our ball started going in as well. So, there's a lesson in there for us. But at the same time, I thought overall, you're just grateful that they did come around for us, but most importantly, we got more physical and defended and cared, and that was the difference in the game.